Cool. You gonna come to Murphy's?
Huh?
You gonna come to Murphy's?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I got a runny nose. Damn it.
Hate that.
Me too. Got some new gloves from Riders Direct yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Some just cause I didn't want to have to wear my heavy winter ones. They're quite good. I like them. I went and looked at some new Dry Riders kit for kicks and giggles. Huh?
You can do that. It's freaky. You've got to hold better.
Do you really? See, I can't start mine on the kickstand though.
Yeah.
It's got to be up. Wow, I didn't realize what a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Two-handed start. Oh, that's funny. Hey-ya! All set? I feel rain. Oh, there is a couple spits. It's supposed to rain heavily tonight. And actually all weekend. Right, so this is my third attempt at this road, to record this road. Akatarawa Road. The first time, the camera stopped recording because I was playing around with it and I didn't have the formatting set, and it ran out of disc. Plenty of battery, but ran out of disc. The second time, I had an unhappy ride. I didn't crash, but it was not pretty. I didn't come off, I didn't do anything, but it was not a pretty ride, so I chose not to put it up on YouTube. I'm hoping third time lucky. I'm with my mate Trevor, so we sort of look out for each other. We ride in every morning to work and home together most afternoons, but we don't normally take this route. This is only a Friday afternoon route because traffic is so heavy going north on State Highway 1 that it's really a pain in the neck, and we would have to lane split. And I'm not really a big fan of lane splitting, honestly. I know some people like Derek and Yummy and, you know, C2W, all big lane splitters, but you know, it's just not my gig, man. So I prefer to take something a bit longer and more scenic home and not have to lane split. Although with riding a single lane, sometimes you feel like you're lane splitting with another car coming on the other way. And yeah, now it's starting to rain, so it's going to be an even more slow ride than it normally would be. So we thought we were going to make it, but it's not going to happen today. And I don't even have a raincoat with me. I got my full kit on, but if it really comes down, yeah, I'm getting wet. And so it's going to be even a slower ride. So I'm just going to not talk unless I've got something interesting to say. And you guys can just enjoy the scenery. And if I think of something cool, I'll say it. But if I can't, then you guys can just enjoy it. This is shot of 33 kilometers from end to end. This end is the more sedate side, and the other end is really much more twisty. Although there is twisty bits both sides, but more. The other side is much tougher and much harder ride. much slower. There'll be times when we'll just be riding 10 kilometers an hour, pulling the clutch and gliding around the corners because they're off camber, turning the opposite way and off camber, which I really hate. Now, I could tip the bike over pretty far, but yeah, it's not something that I like. So I'm just going to take it easy, and I'm going to just whoosh out. I just got to make sure I remember my friend Trevor is behind me, and to not lose him, because he's got a big Suzuki GS X650, which he's been riding it for years and years and years. It's a big, heavy old thing, so it's not quite as nimble as this is. And my GoPro has a hole drilled in the side of it, so it's not waterproof. It's not wide open to the air, but I had to drill a hole for the microphone. And I tried to make the hole as small as possible so that the microphone cable jacket, connector jacket, would press up against the hole and seal it. And it's doing it. I guess it will do a pretty good job. You would never want to immerse it, but for something like this, I think it'd be fine. Or it's just spitting. I've also put the microphone somewhere different. So if you notice in my last video, Vblog 3, the microphone sounded quite muffled at some point. So I'm not sure if it's the quality of the mic or if it's the placement, but it's quite near my mouth, and I took the balaclava off my face so it wouldn't be muffled. And that's, if you watched the last video, you heard me at the very beginning say, I'm not muffled. Well, what I did is I edited the video and I cut out a whole bunch of stuff where I was muffled, and then the very end and the very beginning is where I stopped the cut and I says, I'm not muffled. I'm not muffled. And that's why I said I'm not muffled in the last one, because I just pulled the thing off my face, and that's where I ended up the very beginning of the video, and I cut out the other bit that I was muffled and you couldn't hear a damn thing. So that's the reason why the last one says I'm not muffled, because I was unmuzzled from the balaclava on my chin and my nose and my face. Don't want to really run into anybody down here if we can possibly avoid it. Take it easy from my mate. There's an animal park up here called Staglands, and you get a lot of traffic from here to there, from, you know, families, kids, things like that. So you can end up with people coming the other way, and school buses as well. You'll often see school buses on the afternoon here. So it pays to stay as far left as possible on this road. And just sort of let the bike run underneath you, you know, you just let it, more riding like you would be a dirt bike almost, because it's so narrow and you need the bike to move around, and you need to be sort of agile and stay off the white lines and this stuff when it's damp. But you get a good view of the view here that's looking down the valley. We're going to be going up that hill, so we'll be get quite a good view down the valley. And yes, I'm riding like a kitty on a tricycle, but you know what, I really don't care. They say ride your own ride, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Like that, man, one lane road, and the guy was turning wide. See that? He had to turn back into his own lane, as if there was a real lane, but you know what I mean. got some rock slide stuff going on, rocks falling off the hill, which is pretty normal for this road. So this is a second and third gear road. I suppose there are occasions when you will hit third gear, but higher than that. One of the things that's really, really important on roads like this is that, especially when you're in lower gears, is to blip when you downshift so you don't lock up that rear tire. You do not want to be going into a corner, downshifting and locking up a rear tire, because you'll end up on the ground faster than you can possibly even imagine. So if you're going to downshift in low gears where there's not much play, not much leniency, you got to make sure you blip and give it a good one. Better too much than too little, because if you give too little blip on the downshift, then you're going to lock up your rear tire, and that could be really bad. And if you were turning doing that, it would be disastrous, absolutely disastrous. So make sure you blip. There are a few places where it opens up. I might touch the rear brake a tad if I feel like I'm going a bit fast, but not the front one on this road unless I really need to. We'll do trailing brake only, because if I hit a slippery spot, I don't want to lose the front end. So just trailing brake if you need to. It's just still nice and dry. This is where I saw the woman coming on completely on my side of the road. She just completely cut the road and was riding completely in my side, and it was a tad close last time. Too close for comfort, my taste. This is a lot of forestry stuff going on in this part of the road. It gets more there. Actually, there's parts of the road where there's even more forestry than what you see here. People will, I think I mentioned in the last video, that you saw some forest up on some planted forest up on the hill, that people will plant trees and harvest them when they get big and sell them for big bucks. Look at this shit, man. Gravel. Jeez, that guy's got a lot of wood. Oh, I can smell the fresh cut wood. It's fantastic. Now we can pick it up just a tad. Way backside of the driveways. Pretty sweet. You can hear the reed valves working on my bike. Love the Rotax motor in this bike. It's just absolutely fantastic. Really, really nice. So this bike is actually 3/4 Aprilia. So I'm really riding an Aprilia with a BMW badge on it and a Czechoslovakian motor, which is kind of funny. you guys can see the off camber in that corner or not. It's quite visible to my eyes, but the camera may not show it very well. I'm using a new resolution on this camera, one I haven't tried before, which is 2.7K cinema. We'll see how it goes. It cuts down on the length of film I can use, but I'm not overly happy with the quality, honestly, that I've seen so far. The last video, when we went up the top of Akatarawa Hill Road, it was a spectacular view, and I was kind of disappointed with what the camera showed the view to be. So I'm trying something different, and that was at 1440, I believe. Yeah, 1440 at 24 frames per second. And this is Sin 2.7 at 24 frames per second, I believe is what it is. Or 30 frames per second, I can't remember. Didn't get much of a blip on that downshift. Fortunately, it wasn't too much. It's just starting to get a little twisty. Not as bad as the other side yet, but it starts to up here, where it's completely blind corners. You cannot see what's going around the corner, what's around the corner until you actually get there. I'm trying to work on my enunciation and speaking skills a bit more than I have in the past, because I wasn't overly pleased with my last one, the way I was talking, and it just didn't flow very well. Some of the guys like Yummy and Baker X Derek and C2W just seems to flow so well for them and so easily. So I'm trying to mimic them a bit. I know that Wheels Not Heels is awesome, and if you really need to be following her. If you're not, she is fantastic. I'll have a link down below to her page. She just did a video with Wild Rose. I think his name was Wild Rose, Wild Irish Rose, or something like that. That the short film was just spectacular. You guys really just need to see it. So go check her out. She's awesome. Love her to bits. There's some forestry. And there's Stagland. So theoretically, we should not have too much traffic between here and the other side. There might be some hunters and things like that that are coming back from pig hunt or deer hunting or something. But there aren't many locals in between here, down here. And this is what I would consider really the start of the Akatarawas coming up. You'll see a gate where they will shut off the road if it gets too bad. Oh, there was a slip here recently. Ooh, gravel. So if the weather's really bad, they'll shut this gate, and it means you can't pass through, whether it's some slips or some flooding on the road or something like that. And that's what I really consider the start of the Akatarawas. So it starts to get tight now. Cool river. Truck. Wasn't hanging about. What's the sign say? Danger, 1080 poison. Oh, they're trying to poison they're using 1080, which I think has been banned everywhere else, to poison possums, because possums are a real problem in this country. A really real problem. You'll see metal sheathing on the light posts, because the possums will actually get up, climb up the light post, eat the insulation and cladding on the cables, and get electrocuted and cause power outages. And they're just, I mean, they're just everywhere. They're just really everywhere. See, there's a slip there. Has been. See the, you can see where they work. So see, there's some dirt left over. See, this is, you can't see anything, and then it'll open up. But you just be really careful. Pink Floyd. That's been there forever. All I can remember. 10 years. Those big boulders have been in the middle of the road at some point. I remember coming along here, and they are laying right directly in the middle of the road. This is what I mean by going slow and just pulling the clutch in, because it's somewhere in between first and second gear corner. So let's pull the clutch in, drift around. Another one. Hate those, man. You just can't see anything. And you gotta do, I find that what works best for me is I just will let the bike work underneath me, and I'm sitting up more forward in the seat. See, it's just tipping it over. I keep my body forward, but tipping the bike over. So you let the bike do the work underneath you, but stay vertical. I hate this one. This is off camber, wet usually, and 180-degree turn. I've never seen that corner dry, I don't think, ever. Again, pull the clutch in, drift around, glide around. I'm not doing any drifting, that's for sure. You can see the moss in the middle of the road down here. I don't know if you can, I hope you can, but it's very slippery. It's just a completely blind corner. You just sort of have to have faith that someone's not coming the other way. It's really, It's really disconcerting. Trevor's a brave man for bringing his big 650 beastie through here. I'm not sure I'd be so brave. I brought my 250 GSX2 through here. That was quite fun. And that's a full-size bike. It's a full-size 250. That wasn't very graceful. Well, we're getting up towards the top of it. If there's nobody at the car park up there, we might just pull in and just have a look down the valley. But there's like a lot of guys go up there, like to smoke pot, and I'm sure other things. I've seen some pretty dodgy stuff going on up there. And there's other people up there, I just won't stop. Or if it's very muddy. If it's muddy up there, I won't stop you there. Right here. It does that sometimes. Why does it freaking do that? It'll just die. There's the valley. Wow, there's the sea. Pretty nice, man. It's white guy down there. Sure he's all right. Yep. That's about halfway point, and then it's all downhill from here, literally. But it can be the most dangerous part. See, a lot of this stuff, this off-camber, 180-degree corners. Very narrow. Very, very narrow. That's one of the corners I ended up in a bank. I didn't crash. I didn't come off, but the bike tried to high side me because I locked up the rear tire. And I let go to release the rear tire, and it tried to high side me, so it slid and grabbed. But I wasn't going fast enough for it to high side me. So I just sort of went like a 2 mile an hour crash into the bank. I just want to make sure my mate's behind me. Lost a few of them there for a second. There he is. road's starting to break up. There's the ocean. You can see the ocean through there. It's very off camber. I got a cramp in my hip. What the fuck's up with that? Got a cramp in my hip flexor. I'm sitting so far forward. Thank you. Those two people were very nice. They were on their own side. This is very off camera. I'd be tempted to give it a little stick right there, but I know it's coming up. Another off camber. 100-degree corner. Not quite 100 degrees. Getting towards the end. Once you hit the pine forest, you're sort of getting down towards the end of it. A few more kilometers. The journey is just over an hour old. Little truck. Thank you, sir. It is a nice view. Just Waikanae down there, and that's the Tasman Sea. That's a nice drop. Oh, there's actually cones down there where they've fallen in. There's more has collapsed. There's the valley. Good shot of the valley. You can see the pine forest over there, the forestry, where they're cutting it, harvesting the wood. you guys aren't getting too much wind. That would suck. So I've driven half the length of this road with the visor open. Because it's not very cold, and it's actually not a bad day. Holy fucking shit, man. Oh, my poor heart. Holy crap, man. Holy shit. Oh, man, that up for the... Holy shit, that was a bit more than I had liked to see. Wow, that sucks. Well, at least we got away with it. I mean, that's a good thing, but still, I mean, it's close. Close-ish. Dinner. How's our New Zealand wood pigeon? They're big. Enough to eat. Not sure I would want to, but you could. Coming towards the end, find a few corners. There's an ending, then it opens up. And then it's a straight bit, and then there's one final sharp left-hand turn. And then that's it. It's Guinness time after that. It's Guinness o'clock. Those wood pigeons. It, boys and girls. We survived. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to say it's not quite over, so I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. Not until the journey's over, I shouldn't say anything. Jinx myself and end up something stupid happening. Nice house. I forgot about this corner. There's another corner coming up. A left-hander. This one. much ends it. Coming into Waikanae very shortly, where they'll ask me to slow down. Really not a 45 mile an hour or 45 mile an hour corners. More like 80, 90, 80, say. I could have done that faster, but I'm a wuss. See my mate, he's quite far back, but I can still see him, so that's good. Now they'll ask me to slow down. Okay. I'll behave myself. And now this is where you could see from the top of the hill. Wow, I wouldn't want to be... I would seriously hope that he's not doing the whole journey through Akatarawa. That would really suck for anybody going that direction. And that's it, guys. Cool day. I really love that road. And a nice day like today, that was actually one of the most pleasurable journeys across Akatarawa I can remember for a long time. And I'm glad you joined me. It's always nice when you have friends with you in your journeys. And my thanks to my friend Trevor. He was a brave man for coming along with me. Love that. He made that by hand. He made that bloody stone wall by hand. I've watched it go from very beginning through to almost completion. Which is kind of cool. Every time I go by, every week, something new happens to it. Yay, we made it. Geez, that white ute scared the shit out of me. I gotta check my drawers.
Yeah. I got a good close look at his bull bar.
I'll bet you did. That's one of the worst spots to run into a car. Just coming around the corner like that.
I had a habit of Those right-handers, I wasn't running in deep enough before.
Yeah, I find that's really difficult, honestly.
Because you're not used to doing it. You're used to apex in
Yep,
the corner.
exactly. I find it's really hard, and I find I have to focus literally like here
Well,
to follow the white line around.
that's what I was finding hard coming down after the first few corners when I started to pick up speed, was ignoring that focus and looking.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what screws it all up for me.
I was finding that fucking hard. So
Got my sunglasses.
look down and make sure
Yeah.
you're still on the road.
Yep, that's right. Yep. Yeah, that is hard. I find it really, really difficult. All right, that's it. We're done for today.